Hello, my name is Trydar. Welcome to part 5 of the Roman Hippodrome tutorial. Let's pick up right where we left off. So last time I think we had just finished this phase here. So let's go on to the next one. Of course, on the side here you are continuing to build your columns. In fact, I think many of you have probably already built them to the full height up there, and you know the wall pattern as well, of course. So let's go over here and take a look at the next row of seating. So just like with all the other rows of seating, we're copying this here that we've already built. We're just extending it over here in these directions, or rather in these directions and also dimensions. I think I squished that word together. So another bank of seating here, a doorway, a smaller bank of seating, a doorway, and then one of 5, and then 4, and then over here, of course, we have part of the arcade. So over here for the arcade, you can see that we are adding some very small columns here with the diorite. Of course, we have some door frames here marked out with diorite as well, and then just a little niche back here like so, and then another doorway, and then a niche, and a doorway, and so on and so forth. Repeating the same pattern until you get to the other end, where, of course, we are building more seating, like so here. Same patterns that we have done before. No surprises there. Of course, back here for the hallway, just extend everything up. One more block. It's just a straight run. No details back in there for that. Alright, so on this side over here, we're of course doing the same thing for the seating that we did over there. It's a mirror image until we get to this area back here, which is of course the Emperor's box, which we've already done most of the hard work on this. We're just about to finish off the seating here for that. Then we'll just have the throne here, and the arcade, of course, behind the Emperor's box is the same as the arcade on the other side of the Hippodrome. Just like so. And of course the seating and everything are just the same here as they are over there. Now let's take a closer look here though. Now here you can make a change if you want to. Instead of having the burning netherrack, you can put a campfire down here if you want to have one of those instead. To make it a little bit more dramatic. I don't think there's going to be anything flammable around here, so you could still have the netherrack if you want to. Here are the final details. Just some slabs, some quartz slabs on this level here. For the seating for all the senators and the imperial family and everything. Over here, some detail for the emperor's throne chair. His little platform, of course, he's got to sit at a higher height than everyone around him. That's just you know, that's how that works. Always have to have someone important sitting on their pedestal. Like so there, and we will go on to the next phase. So these first couple of phases we're going to go through are going to be pretty easy because there's a lot of repeating patterns here with the columns and the wall and everything. Now you can see here we're done building the passageway back here. It's just a basic 2x3 passageway all the way through. And you're going to roof that over with just cobblestone. And here again, the same pattern for the seating. You're just continuing this pattern here that we already built. And we're just extending it off to the left. For 4 and then 5. 5 here, a doorway, then 4 and 4, a doorway, 5 and 5, a doorway, 4 and 4. Well, just 4, and then, of course, this here for the arcade. Of course, these columns are going to be 6 blocks tall in total. So if you want to go ahead and extend that diorite up like that, you can do that, save yourself a little bit of time. I think we just, if memory serves, we just have some little decorative finials right there, made out of diorite as well, like that. And of course the doorways here. I did initially plan this out to just have all of these were doorways, but when I was looking at it, I thought, well, no, that's entirely too many doorways. So I sealed those up and just added some decorations where they were first time. So let me just zoom out a little here. Maybe give you a better idea for the pattern. And then over here, of course, the same banks of seating that you have been building here. No surprises of anything right there, of course. So, and we're finishing off all the doorways. We're just adding a lintel of cobbled deep slate like that there. All right, same thing on the other side for all of the seating, the arcade, and the other rows of seating. Just a little bit of detail here for the Emperor's throne, of course. We've got a diamond block for the Emperor to sit on. I know it's expensive, but you know, he's the Emperor. You can't shortchange him. Can't have the Emperor sitting on a random cobblestone block. That's just not fitting. All right. Next phase here, same deal for the columns and the walls and everything. Take a look at the next line of seating, though. These are going to be really easy lines of seating. All you're doing is we're now finished with these doorways. So we're just extending these all the way across until we hit the cobbled deep slate dividers. And then, of course, just continue your seating again to the next divider, so on and so forth, all the way down the row until we get, of course, here to the arcade. Details there for the doorway. And, of course, same pattern. You've already got all that marked out. So once you do one of those, you know how to do the rest of them. And same deal on this row down here for all the seating there. A lot of blocks, but not too much explanation required for that. Now over here, of course, we need to take a look at the Emperor's throne. And over here, a couple more diamond blocks and some quartz slabs and stairs. Like so here. And next phase, same deal for the columns and the walls. And let's just go ahead over here and take a look at the throne. So one last diamond block here. And then some upside down quartz stairs. And a few more pillar blocks around back. Back over here though, what you did on the last phase for all the lines of seating, you can see that you want to do those again. Just like so, just extending them all the way across, only having the cobbled deep slate be the dividers. Over here, we want to put a diorite lintel to finish this doorway. Also roof it off back there with cobblestone. Like so. Here, of course, we want some upside down stone brick stairs. Here, we're finishing off these little decorative finials. Right there. And of course, once you do one of those, it's just a repeating pattern all the way down to the other end there, and of course continue your rows of seating as before. All right, next phase here, you're beginning to put, just beginning to put the capitals on these columns here. Same pattern that we did before. Same pattern also for the seating. We're of course doing a third row of those. I think we're going to be doing a couple more rows before we finish the seating. A few more phases, and we'll be done with all the seating. Till we get all the way down there anyway. So here's some details. We have a little diorite arch that's going to be going over the doorway here. Of course, we have a little lintel of upside down stone brick stairs, like so. Of course, once you do one of those, just alternate the pattern till you get to the other end, where, of course, you continue to build your rows of seating. So, a couple more details over here for the Emperor's throne. Next, so he has to have a very big and impressive chair. Like that, with, of course, some waxed cut copper. All right, over here, let's go ahead and take a look at the seating again. So, same deal for the seating, again, just like we were doing for the last 4 rows of seating. You want to do it again. Like so, there. Over here, though, details for the arcade with the arches and the columns and everything. Like so, simple repeating pattern. There's a lot of that in the middle section of the Hippodrome. Let's see. Detail here for the Emperor's throne chair. I think if you want to go ahead and just add one more block of waxed cut copper there, then that will be good enough. Of course, if you have more expensive materials, maybe you have some deep slate diamond ore, you might want to put there instead, or something like that, or perhaps some gold or something. Something expensive. And we'll just go take a look at that right here. And once you have done all of that, the Emperor's throne chair will be complete. So you can sit here, watch the game, see all the horses moving around the arena, for the most part, at least on this side. Of course, that was part of the suspense. You can only see half of it at any one time. So you're always looking at the ends down here to see just who made it across, if they didn't have like a terrible accident back here or something. Although in most cases the terrible accidents were generally designed to happen down here, with the narrow turning and everything. So again, for the seating, another row. I think I've got these as double slabs right there. And extend those all the way down until we get to the arcade, where we finished our columns. So we want to add some upside down cobblestone stairs here for the beginnings of our acanthus leaves for our Corinthian capitals, like so. And one of these arches is the same as the other ones. If you want to, you can go ahead and place a 2x3 thing of diorite right there to finish out to that arch. We'll be doing that in the next phase, though, but if you want to go ahead and skip a little, you can certainly do that. Continue the pattern all the way down the arcade until you get to the seating, and then continue that again. And of course, the arcade is still the same on both sides, so we can go on to the next phase over here, where we have finished all the seating in the middle part. So you can see now we are extending this line of cobbled deep slate all the way around and just having a straight shot all the way behind the seating, joining up with the dividers here, like so. And then over here, of course, we've got a little bit more of the arcade. Some upside down stone brick stairs here, like so, all the way down the arcade on both sides. And then, of course, continue your seating. All right, as I said, we finished the Emperor's box now, so he's done. So we can focus on just the outer elements today. So back here, this line of cobblestone that we have bending all the way around, we're just going to do with a straight shot all the way that way, all the way to the other end there. And you can see here, of course, we are beginning to get into the entablature, which we're going to be building in the next phase, because as you can see, I assume you've already all done this. You've already got all of your columns with your 2x2 columns with your Corinthian capitals and everything. All those are built all the way down down the Hippodrome, like so. And over here, some final details for the arcade. You just want to put a big rectangle of cobblestone. Just slap it right on top of that. Down here, all the way down the arcade, like so. And then, of course, some more seating. I mean, not more seating. I'm used to saying seating. Another row of cobblestone, I mean, all the way down there. And I think at this point, this should be just 3 blocks wide. All right, so for the next phase, of course, we are adding our entablature on top of our columns, because remember, when you finish building columns, the very next thing you always have to build is an entablature. You can't just start building the pediment or anything. You got to start building your entablature. So, of course, we're doing that with diorite. Lots of diorite, like so, on both sides right here. And, of course, we're going to be taking this pattern from here to here. And, of course, on the other side, right here, from here to here, to there, like so. And we are going to be extending that in a straight line all the way down the Hippodrome, except for the middle part there where we're just going to bend it around. But you should be familiar with this pattern by now, so I don't have to go too much in detail with it as before. So remember, this section here, if you carve a 2-block wide section here, this is just a module. And you want to build this little module the same. Well, it's only really this little 4-block area here. It's the repeating pattern. The rest of it just flows in a straight line. And of course, down below here, we want to connect our columns to the building with lintels, like so here. Of course, we're done with the pattern of the brickwork and everything. You should have been building on the outside there. You just want to connect that in big rectangles and squares to the side of the building here. Of course, we're going to be repeating this pattern all the way down the building, like that there. But this is just the first one of these. So once you build one of these, the measurements are going to be all the same for all the other ones, which of course are 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 4 by 5, all the way down. A whole bunch of those until you get to the other end down here, where of course it cuts off because that is going to be the last part of the Hippodrome, which we're going to get to in not this video, probably part 5. I don't think we're going to finish this today, so maybe part 7. Lots of parts in the Hippodrome series. As you were duly warned when we started the series, it's going to be a big build. It's going to take a long time to finish. And looks like I have some construction gaps down here. You don't have to worry about that. I think this is just leftover diorite. You only need to worry about what's visible on the outside here. Like you can forget all this and leave all that hollow back here if you want to. Save yourself some materials, but you just want to bend that around the arcade like so, till it matches up with the other end down here in just a big rectangle like so. And of course do the same on the other side. So over here, good news, kind of. For all the diorite that you built last time, you want to go and extend these 4 by 5 rectangles up for another block layer. Do that for every rectangle on both sides of the building, like so. On the exterior, though, you want to extend this little string course of detail of upside-down stone brick stairs, just like this, unbroken, all the way down the building. You get to the other end. Of course, you want to do that on the interior here as well. You can see how we bent this entire thing around a big circle last time. Well, you want to just extend that in a straight shot all the way down here until we get to this rectangle area where you just bend it 90 degrees, bend it again, and of course do the same thing here on that side as well. Pretty easy. It's got to be one of the easiest things that we can do in the Hippodrome tutorial. So we can make good time and go on to the next phase, where of course you are doing the same thing with all the diorite that you did before. Like down here, what you did there, do it again up here. Except in the middle, we want to add these little coffers up here of just full cobblestone blocks like so. Just leave a 2 by 3 cut out there in the middle for that, and we will be finishing that off in the next phase. So here in the middle, of course, extend all your diorite like so. Wrap it around the rectangle like there, and then that'll be all of that. Pretty easy. A lot of work, but it doesn't require too much to explain anyway. All right, here for details, you remember this repeating pattern that we did. Well, you just want to do every other block, cobblestone half slabs, like so, and diorite behind that. And of course, behind those, you just want to roof everything off back here with the coffers and everything, just with diorite. Like that there. Do that all the way down the building on both sides here. And of course, once you get to this point here, remember, just bend it around. Like so here, and that will finish that. Same thing on both sides of the Hippodrome. This section is symmetrical, so you just have to do it all twice. Over here again, of course, we have the alternating block palette now with the cobblestone walls, the upside down stairs, and the chiseled stone bricks and everything. You have a good idea of how to do this pattern now with now we've done it already twice before, so it's going to be your third time around the park. So I think you have all that in hand. So I don't have to belabor the point too much. We just want to squish it into the corner here to a 90-degree angle, and then bend it again around that way, and of course do the same on both sides of that. For the details for the Corinthian entablature, and then we want to put a cornice on the entablature, which is stone bricks and of course the upside down stone brick stairs all the way down the building on both sides. Take a look here in the corner where it all squishes together, then it bends right here 90 degrees. That's pretty much all there is on that. Alright, so now we've gotten to a milestone on the Hippodrome. As you can see, we have now finished all the columns that you have been building for the lower layer here. And of course, good news and bad news. Bad news is you have to do it all again. The good news is you already know how to do it. So, as you can see here, all of these columns right here, at least the ones on the outside, they sit directly on top of the ones we have down below there. So these two blocks here, they correspond directly in their placement to blocks that we placed all the way back down here. And they all have a very simple intercollimation. They all have a 3-block intercollimation distance, as you can see here. You just want to lay these out. Lay these out in a big square with your cobble deep slate and do that all the way down the Hippodrome. You can see here, however, we now have the beginnings of the base layer of the decorative what is it? Well, just the decorations for the temples and everything. Let's go over here and refresh our memory on this before we build that, so you can have a handle on it. So as you can see here, we have these little sort of like temple facade decorations that we of course have to just make the Hippodrome look more impressive. And we're going to be doing the foundations for these here today. Like so. So that's what we're doing back over here. So let's go back over here and take a look at those. And of course, on the outside, all the columns they follow exactly the same 3-block intercollimation distance here on the exterior. So you can go ahead and build those if you want to. And I think you can fairly clearly see the spacing for most of the other ones as well. It's only a little bit different for some of these here. While this one is a 3-block spacing here, this one drops down to 2. That's just how it worked out in the design. And then back here, these are just little pedestals for the Roman soldier statues to stand on. They're going to be what? I think they're 7 by 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. 7 by 7 squares. Here, of course, we have the same deal, except this one has the proper 3-block spacing. like so. It's only the side ones that are recessed back by 1 block. Otherwise, they all have the 3 block spacing. You can see how we just join the bottoms of the column bases together with some more cobbled deep slate. And behind that, you just want to fill it in with a little bit of cobblestone. If you want to as well, there is some space back here if you want to make like a room or something. For some reason, you can do that. So let me zoom out and give you a good top-down view of this, so you can see what we've got going on. Just in review, it's a foundational moment, so we want to make sure that we get everything right. But of course, you can use all the column bases that we've laid out to help you do that, because they're all very regularly placed, except for these 2 right here on either side. They've only got the 2 block spacing instead of 3. And of course, back here, to finish off, we want to have just a little decorative railing of cobbled deep slate, like so. And you want to place that 1 block behind the cornice of the entablature that we built in the previous phase, like so. And that is going to be the same on both sides. Both of these sides are absolutely symmetrical. Indeed, I think now that we're above the level of the Emperor's box, everything that we are doing in the Hippodrome, everything we do on this side, we're going to be mirror image on this side, without exception. Alright, so I think we can now save quite a lot of time, actually. Because as we have done the column bases, you should have already gone around and placed your column bases, so you know how to build these columns by now. You've built just dozens and dozens of them. So now that you have the base marked out, you can go down here and follow the pattern with building the base, then the column shaft and the Corinthian capital, like so. If you want to, you can go ahead and do that for all of these columns, all the way down the building. You may not want to do that for these 6 here, and for the ones in the middle here, and for that side over there. But for all the rest of them, down the Hippodrome on both sides, you can go ahead. And I assume that you can do these in your sleep, so you can just go ahead and build those. And now we don't have to refer to that anymore in this tutorial. So here, detail, we just want to extend up with some cobblestone. This foundation here, of course, same deal with all this cobblestone, just connect it together. Just use the pattern you laid out for the deep slate here and build it up 1 more block. Same here for these as well. And we will go on to the next phase. I think for the rest of this tutorial today, we'll be focusing in on just these little sections here. You can see we want to use some stone brick stairs to join these together. Like so there, all the way around. More column bases, more bases for this little pedestal. Stone brick stairs again, stone brick stairs also for this middle section. Like so. Same deal all the way around, just join it together. And we can go on to the next level up. And take a look at this here. So, as you can see, all the exterior columns, they follow the same pattern as these columns, except we are joining them together back here with just a sheet of cobblestone. Like so here. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 11. Detail here for that pedestal. And just join all that together with cobblestone as well. And of course, all of this over here is the same. Like if we take a center line through this section and draw it right there, what we have over here on this section is a mirror image to what we have on this section over here. So to save a little bit more time, I'm only going to focus on this section here because it shows you all the patterns that you need to build over there as well. And of course, you have to build the entire thing again over here, which should go a lot faster because now you know what you're doing. So over here again, details of how this fits together. We're just overriding the columns with cobblestone. Essentially, is what we're doing. Little detail for the pedestal. And same deal as well for this. And remember, it doesn't matter what you fill in these little sections back here. They're not visible, so you can fill this in with just whatever spare block you have. Or if you want to, you can just leave that entirely hollow. All right, here you can see we, of course, are starting the diorite for our columns. And just like we did back down here with this brickwork pattern that you should be very familiar with how to build, we're going to be doing that again, but on a very small scale. So that's what all this diorite is in the middle here for. Now, if you want to, you can leave that out in the middle. But we just want to have a line of diorite mortar like that there, and we're going to be doing our brickwork pattern superimposed behind these columns here. Same deal for this one here, except I've already cut out everything in the middle for you. So, and for the next phase, because all of that is just a repeating pattern, you can go ahead and extend all your diorite column shafts up. Of course, it's the same measurements. So I think it's 12 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12 blocks. Diorite 2 by 2, all the columns, all the way around the building, like so. Even the ones you have connected to the connected here, you can do that as well. And I'll give you a good close look at this pattern here, because as you can see, we started off with the 5-block face here, and then it's 2 blocks of space and 2 blocks, and then it's 5 again, and then 2 of space and 2, and then 5 again for that there. And then we just want to wrap that around the corners here. I think actually I may have missed a detail here for this. It seems like I should have divided maybe divided those there. Well, it's not something you can really see, so you don't really have to worry about it. Just to make it simple, though, you can just go ahead and connect them together. It only really matters on the front here, because it is just a facade. So here again, we can see the facade detail, like so here with the brickwork pattern, the same pattern we used below. We're doing it again right here on a much smaller scale. So I'm skipping ahead because this is just all extremely repetitive, because we're just extending diorite up, and you're doing the brickwork pattern again, which we've I think we've beat this pattern straight to death. So you should have a good handle on how to do this. The easiest way to do this would be to go ahead and extend the diorite up in a big rectangle like so, and then go around in front of that, and then slap on your stone brick pattern detailing. Like that there. And of course we have some holes here in the corner for the pattern. And for all of this here, I'm not really going to cover the soldier statue. If you want to build these, please refer to the Roman soldier statue tutorial I had. This thing has its own video. If you want to, you can also put a different sort of statue here. Maybe you can put the Roman eagle here, or some Atlas statues, or something like that. I will leave that up to you to decide how best to adorn your Hippodrome. So over here, let's take a look. Again, we're back to the 1-block slices now. We're just extending all of this up, of course. So we're now building all the capitals for the Corinthian columns and everything. And you're continuing up the pattern, like so there. Let's go on to the next one. Take a look at this one here. You can see we're adjoining our capitals to the walls. Like so here. Next level up, same deal. Of course, we want to have the wall overwrite the capital. Because these are essentially pilasters, which is just a fancy way of saying an attached column. Because it's attached to the wall. Because the wall's already there, it provides all the structural strength that we need, and the columns are just decorative. Again, here just a simple mortar layer with the diorite. Of course, you're just extending this box straight up, like so there. Here, next level up. I think that this is the top of all the Corinthian columns again, so you should have built your second level of columns, just like we did with the ones we wrapped all the way around the apse down here. You just want to extend these straight, like so, back through here. And then here we are done building out all the diorite and everything on the inside, so we just want to put a straight slab of cobblestone right on top of all of that down there. All right, next phase, you know what comes next, the entablature. And of course, we are doing that according to the same patterns that we have done before. And we just want to have some simple cutouts of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think these are all going to be 5 by 5 squares. Of course, we just want to connect everything together with the diorite for lintels and everything, like so, all the way down the building till we get here, of course, where we just squish them together. And then we, of course, want to wrap our diorite around this section here. And then wrap it around the middle section there. We just have 3 of these in the middle, 3 coffers. Like so here, and of course it's the same on the other side here, and then the same pattern down there. And of course we just have a straight run of diorite along the front. And of course, you know what we're doing by now. We're taking this entablature design here, from here to here, and we're going to be stretching it out all the way down the Hippodrome there. In other words, just what we did way back down here for this little straight section of entablature, we want to do that again all the way up here. It's only going to be different on the interior, where of course it gets more complicated because we have to wrap it around the central sections. I think we can, I can still talk, so we can do some more today. For that, generally the length of the tutorials is determined by how long I can talk. So here, of course, you know what we're doing with the entablature and everything on the outside. I don't think I need to tell you that. Extend all the coffers up, of course, by 2 blocks, all the diorite on the interior here, just like you did before. On the interior, of course, we just want to wrap the stone bricks around, like so. Wrap it around there, and whoop, the soldier statue, and just wrap it around here, of course, for all of that as well. And I don't think I covered it for some of these columns. If you want to let a little extra flourish to some of these columns, they're not necessary, but you can add some cobblestone walls right there for that. That's generally what I do when I want some Corinthian compound capitals. Just a little echo of Ionic there in those. So let me get a good top-down view of everything here, sort of at a glance, so you can see what's going on. You're just extending everything up and then doing those upside-down stone bricks all the way down the building, like that there, of course, on both sides. And for the next phase, you want to go back to the phase before that one and do the same with all the diorite, like we did down here before, except adding in, of course, the 5x5 cobblestone squares that you see here, and all of these, of course, except the ones where the walls are. Just bend your die right around here for the three decorative sections in the middle. And I think at this level also these Roman soldier statues are done. So, I mean, I'll just give you a quick glance of these. Of course, they're done with what is it? I can't remember the name of it. It's got some blackstone in it, but it's also got the deep slate tiles. That's what they are. I remember what they're called someday. But as I said, you can put some other type of statue there if you prefer. But all the entablature stuff is just it's a lot of block placing, but it's just a standard repeating pattern that you should know how to build rather well by now. So you can see here, just roof the entire thing off with diorite, like here for all the coffers, like we did down below there. Do all that again. Of course, go ahead and add your dentils, like so here. Uh-oh. Huh. Could be one here. I wonder if I made a mistake I didn't catch. Seems likely. Huh. I need to go over here and that'll show up on that phase. Let me take a moment and look at this here and see if I haven't made a mistake. So I definitely didn't make a mistake on this level. I wonder why that's like that. Let's go down to this other end here and see if they match up. This may need to be something that you fix. Another mistake on the reference model, possibly. So that one is at the end of this one, and that one is, well, no. Oh. Okay. I don't see a missing one. Did they match up on this side? Okay, well, I'm not sure why a slab is missing from there, but it is. But I'm going to trust myself and just follow the pattern like it is here. This must have something to do with how the round section straightened out into the rest of it. Go on to the next phase over here and take a look at that and see what happened. All right, yeah. So we are going to have a little break in the pattern here. I think that had to do with there must have been a mismatch between the lower section and the upper one. I mean, there's not down here. Huh. Wonder how that happened. Oh well, it's okay. Nobody's going to notice this, and we're not going to go back and rebuild the entire sequence of that just because of this little thing. So, my apologies. I think that may be a small error that I didn't catch in the design. But anyway, you know the pattern for this. You just want to follow this. It's correct on the interior here anyway. I think this must have had something to do with how the interior or the exterior pattern matched up with the rest of this. That's probably how I did that. But anyway, you know this little 4-block repeating pattern. You just want to do that all the way around the exterior in an unbroken line. And on the interior here, we want to, of course, bend it into this little corner. Like so there. And then here, detail for the exterior. And then same deal again here for this. And then it gets squished together here in the middle. It's not very regular here, so we have to do like two slabs and then a stair, and then that stair gets squished into this stair here. And then we turn the corner 90 degrees. Keep the same pattern going. Turn again, and so on and so forth. This is just the same pattern that we've done over there. Like so. Let me just show it to you from the top. I think I've got some extra blocks. You don't have to worry about those. Sometimes when I'm copying and pasting things together, things get collided together, and there are some extra blocks that you don't need. Alright, so let's continue that on. I think we're finishing now the entablature with, of course, just adding on the upside down stone brick stairs and the full blocks of stone bricks like so here, all the way down the building like that there. And this must have something to do with how things interface down there, possibly. I wouldn't change this, I don't think. I think I would leave this the same as it is. Let me just go down here below here and take a look at this one last time. It does match up with the pattern below. Maybe it's that pattern that didn't match up. Focus my cursor on this. Yeah. I think when I was doing this, I may have incorrectly copied and pasted the pattern for the round part. Oh well. It's only a small one block error. On something this big, that was bound to happen. But anyway, you want to do the same, of course, with the upside down stone brick stairs. And a big line. And then have it bend 90 degrees there and 90 degrees here. And then bend back in and then back out. All the way there for those sequences. And just roof the entire thing over with cobblestone if you want to. You don't really need to, though. I think we're that's not going to be visible. So as long as we get above that diorite level right there, all of this under here can just be hollow. So next phase, really easy. So on top of all of the cobblestone, on all of these stone brick stairs, you want to place cobblestone, full blocks in a big line, all the way down the building like so. And here as well. There's only going to be some differences here because we're starting to add some pediments down here. So I'll give you a good slow look at this here. And of course this side here is a mirror image of that there. So, and then cobblestone again. Of course we want to have the raking cornice right here with the 4 blocks of stone brick and then 4 blocks of cobble right there as well. And we just want to follow this pattern here. And of course this pattern here is a mirror image of what was just built back down over there. Now behind that you can see, of course, we have some red nether brick and some deep slate tiles like so. And there's some cobbled deep slate behind that, but these, I don't think those blocks are going to be visible, so it's not necessary for you to add that. But you can see here, all we're doing is now the roof tiles for all of this here. At least we're going to start on the roof tiles. I don't know if we'll finish those today or not. But like you can see here, it's just a standard repeating pattern. You can take what we already did for this and just start extending it off to the right. But at various intervals, we want to break this up with these little dividers out of cobblestone, like so here. And that's going to be, these are fairly regular. for the most part. They're going to be what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 blocks for a module of those. And then you just want to build another, I'm going to actually look shorter. I think that may correspond to the seating down there. I better measure that. 3, 12, oh, it's 13 blocks. So 13 there, another 13 here. And I think that all the way down the exterior, I think these are all going to be modules of 13 blocks. I don't think there's any difference for these. You can see they're all going to match up on both sides. The only difference is going to be over here, where we have the little triangular pediments that we're building to cap off those. So those are going to end up being different. So let's take a closer look at, oh no, we already did that, didn't we? Yes, we did. So it's time to go on to the next phase. So over here again, repeating patterns. Again, for some of these, there are any block that's not visible like that. You don't have to build for this. You can leave that out entirely because we're just going to be placing the deep slate tile half slabs on top of those. Of course, the full blocks are red nether brick, and you just want to extend the same pattern that you should know well how to build by now. We're doing that, of course, all the way down the building for all the 13 block wide modules, like so, all the way straight shot down the exterior side. Same applies for the interior, of course, until we get over here to the pediments, where of course we need to slow down and take a look. And I think that there should probably be red nether brick. Small mistake. Over here, let's take a good long look at this section here. Using a lot of cobblestone, full blocks and slabs, and stone brick, full blocks and slabs for this little section here. But of course, these are symmetrical, by the way. So if we draw a little center line like this, what we build over here, it should be a mirror image of what we build over here. Looks like I did actually fix another brick over here. I just didn't over there. So here, let's take a look at this. Again, there's blocks back here you don't particularly have to build, like so, that are going to end up being extra. A little bit of decorative cut copper. And then, of course, all this over here is a mirror image of what we built back over there. All right. Go on to the next one, of course. I think you have a good handle on how to build these modules of roofing. The banks of 13 long roof tiles, like so. Just repeating patterns every block level up. Like that, all the way down the building. Of course, all this cobblestone in the middle here, you can just ignore that. And just, not build any of that. And we'll take a look here, because we have all these cobblestone dividers here. I mean, the roof sections are squishing into each other at 90-degree angles, so of course we have to have these 45-degree dividers. Like so here. And you just want to extend the pattern for the roofing tiles. And here for the pediment. So right here. Then more roof tiles. And then more pediment. Where of course we're building the now the recessed triangular portion of the pediment, which is of course called the tympanum. Almost forgot for a moment. Not a word I get to use too often, but it's a very nice word. Tympanum. Nice to say anyway. A little bit of glowstone for decoration here. And then of course build all of this over here exactly the same as we built over there. Making good progress today. I think I'm going to go ahead and try and finish off the middle section today as well. It was a lot of repeating patterns and everything, so we got to move a little quicker than we have in previous ones. Of course, over here, we're now finishing off the last of the roof tiles. And then we're just going to relay a big line of cobblestone straight on top of that, all the way down the building like so. But all your roof tiles should be meeting at the top here for all your 13 block wide modules. Like so here, let's take a good look at the pediment and the last of the tympanum. In building this, you will notice that the slope is the same, and this is yet another modular repeating pattern. Right through here, it's just done at an angle. A low angle of like, I think 18 degrees. Alright, of course we've got all of our roof tiles here meeting at the top. Some little details here. We are going to have some some little decorative finials on the side here. Just some small details. The central tympanum here. And then that's all the same on both sides. Alright, next phase here. So like I said, line of cobblestone on top of this to cap that off as a ridge line all the way down the building. Just a straight shot, straight line of cobblestone. Take a look at how the roof sections finish off over here. Of course, we're extending our cobblestone here to meet the top of the pediment here, like so. Some last blocks of cut copper there. We have more roofing, though, that we have to build for this middle section. Right there. So you're going to need some more roof tiles back here. And that pattern, and let's take a look at the pediment. Right there. Not too bad. We're in the home stretch now. Not too much more to go. So you see on the top here, we are extending these little decorative finials at the top here, like so. And you want to place these every place there's a ridge line. Cobblestone, you can go ahead and just finish these off by placing 5 blocks of diorite in that pattern there. Every place there's a little divider, just go ahead and do that. And that will finish all of those off. Like so. All the way down the building. And we have a little bit here. 2x3 diorite right there. A little bit more cut copper right here. And a little bit more of the central tympanum here. As you can see, repeating pattern all the way up until it meets and squishes together in the middle. And detail here for the roofing tiles. We had to get really creative with how this came together. Now let's go back over here. I've already explained all of this. So we're only going to focus on the roofing sections or the pediments and everything until we get that finished. A little bit more cut copper there, and some more of this in the middle here. All right, next phase. Not too much left to cover. In fact, if you want to, you can go ahead and take your cut copper and build it up like that there, and that will finish that off. In other words, what you did for this here, just put another one of those up there. So we only need to focus on this section here, of course, where we have our pediment meeting its pinnacle. Right there. With all the roof tiles with its repeating pattern going up at an angle and all meeting together like that there. And we want just a simple 3x5 block of dye right there. And then finish off the roof cresting with the cobblestone and the slabs. Right there. And of course that will give us a little platform to put our decorative Akraterion statue on top of. Which of course is this model of statue right here. Which has been, it's been covered in many other tutorials. So I'm just going to cut to it and just go around and slowly show you the entire statue here. It's not too difficult to build and put together, so I don't think I really need to slice this up into one block things because of that. It's symmetrical too, except for the placement of the feet. No. It should have been. One of these feet should probably be taller than the other one there. Like so. But if you want to build it like that, you can't do it. But in other words, this is a symmetrical statue too. So once you build one side of that, just build the other side exactly the same. However it comes out looking. Like so here. And that will be all of that, I think. So this wraps up part 5. We got a whole lot done on the middle section today, but that's because a lot of it was extremely repetitive and didn't require all that much exposition on my part, but it's going to require an absolute ton of building on your part. So I hope you are having a lot of fun building your Roman Hippodrome, and that will have the first section down here done with the apps. The middle section will now be done with all this here in the middle. And on the next part, we of course begin the massive section down there at the end with all the towers and everything. And then after that is wrapped up, we will go back and do the statues down the spine of the Hippodrome in the middle. So yeah, I want to thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.